Good evening, everyone, and welcome to your Pick a Card reading. Today we will be trying to figure out what you need to know at this moment in your life. So what you're going to do is pick one of these three objects. Group 1 will be the pumpkin, Group 2 will be the dark book of shadows, I suppose, and Group 3 will be the skull with a bat on top. So whichever one your eye gravitated to first, that is your group. The timestamps will be down below, and I'll see you in your reading. Hello Group 1, and welcome to your reading. So let us find out what you need to know right now. Okay, so you got discover your life purpose. Discover your life purpose. So some of you may be feeling lost currently in life, or it's possible that things you do want you have been putting off because you may have doubts that it's going to be successful and work out for you. Or maybe there are other factors like other people telling you that you have to be realistic about your dreams. Whatever it may be, currently you're being asked that you need to discover what your life purpose is. You're not made or born to just stress and not just stress, but waste your life on the type of work that will just make you regret losing your youth to something that you hated and was unsatisfied with, right? So currently you need to discover what it is you want to do. If you already know, then at least try to make it a hobby for now and see if you actually enjoy doing it every single day. And if you do, then try to be more serious about it. Maybe work on that on the side, and once it starts picking up and you're making a good salary out of it, maybe then quit your job. It all depends if you're able to sustain yourself and live a normal life doing what you love, because of course you don't want to fall in ruins and not have much to go on with and work with because you quit your normal job too early. So but at least discover what it is you want to do at the moment. So for some of you, this may be something new, something that you may not have thought of before, that you currently are not aware of. It's possible that it's linked to your home life, maybe working from home, starting a business from home. For some, it may be a discovery that you enjoy cooking, or things like knitting, or something around the home. Maybe some of you that have a 9-to-5 job will discover that you actually enjoy being, a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad and working from your home, especially if you work at a job that you don't have to, that it's not mandatory to be in an office or at the actual workplace, but you can actually work from home. Maybe that's something to think about. But it is something new because you got the maiden here. So it's something new and fresh that you may not know about yourself, something you actually enjoy doing. So first try to see, I'm pretty sure you know what theme or category of, subjects you like. For example, art, science, medical, If you already know what you're into in that sort of field, try to see everything under that theme of what exists out there and try to partake in it. So for example, if you love art, right, but you never tried working with clay before, try that. Or if you've always loved music, but you you know, aren't a musician, maybe there's something about DJing that you may discover that you like, um, or maybe writing music, maybe you're a writer, so try to discover what it is that that your purpose is. Because your purpose will be something that even as a child that you gravitated towards, something that is so natural within you. It's not something that you never ever thought about. There's maybe a theme or a subject about it that was already there within you, and maybe you forgot it or put it aside and never looked at it again, but maybe it's something from your past, when you were a child, something that was so natural, that was birthed within you. So try to discover what that is. Okay, shine brightly. Stand out, be proud, individuality. So this may be something that you have doubts about or think you may not be good at. But this here is telling you that whatever this may be, this is already within you. It courses through your blood. Okay, it's something that you've been gifted with, maybe something from your ancestral line, maybe something from your past lives, whatever it may be, this is something that's within you. And I'm feeling and getting this feeling that a lot of you are working against your soul self. Your soul is so unhappy, it's so restless. Maybe you're constantly tired because your soul is restless and unhappy. And until you actually start partaking in this natural gift that you have, or something that you need to discover that you may not be aware of, once you discover it, or once you start doing it, you will start to feel so much energy, so much happiness. Like you're going to feel like you breathe and live for this thing. And it's going to be so natural within you. Sure, there may be like a learning curve along the way, because obviously we aren't born geniuses. That's a rarity on this planet. But even if you need to learn something about it or to further this skill, you're going to enjoy doing it. Okay, so this is something that you do need to do in order to save yourself, because you have to remember that not doing what your soul wants, what your soul breathes and lives for, it's only going to make you ill physically. At first it starts with a restless soul, but then the longer you're unhappy, the longer you bottle things up, it's going to start to come up like a physical illness. So it may be something small, maybe headaches, maybe a cold, maybe, and it can go on to bigger things, flus, fevers, even cancer or diabetes or whatever it is, because of a restless and unhappy soul. Okay, everything is energetic. Everything starts at an energy level, and then it becomes physical. Okay, a lot of people believe the other way around because we've been brainwashed to think so, but the physical is an illusion. We create the physical with our minds. So once you make your soul self happy, everything else in your life will ripple out, and maybe you'll manifest faster, you'll manifest greater things. So try to uncover what this is. Okay, you got the Magician card, so you are the magician. You can actually do this work. You can actually manifest this sort of life into being. Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords, actually. This is someone that even through storms can hold their head up high and do what they need to do. Okay? You have a mind for this. The Hermit. It's possible that you do need to take some time to yourself, distancing yourself maybe from other people. Maybe you've been around people a lot or can't focus when you're around people. Either way, this is something that you need to find on your own. You need to do some soul searching, some digging, maybe some, participating and dabbling in different mediums and different things just to see what it is that clicks with you. Okay, so let's see. What advice do we have for you? Okay, so you got time. Embrace in the dewdrops of life before they disappear with the morning sun. So it's possible that, time is running out. And not to sound like, scary or something, but the more you procrastinate and not partake in this, the harder it's going to be for you to actually get into it. Because then this foundation of fear is going to be solidified. And it's going to be so much harder to break through that. One day you may start, telling other people, oh, it's too late for me, there's no point. And even if they keep encouraging you to do so, maybe you have such talent and skill in this thing, the fear is going to keep you away from doing it. So time may be something that is running out for some of you. So don't let fear get in your way. Whatever this is that you're doing doesn't have to be perfect for now. Okay, you're going to build on top of that. But this is important because maybe the very thing that you need to do might save someone else, right? Maybe it's a song that you write just out of love and passion that ends up making someone choose to live longer. Maybe it's the lyrics of the words you wrote. Maybe it's a poem that you wrote that makes someone feel like life is worth living, or to reunite with an old friend because of some stupid fight that you had. Or maybe, maybe your cooking reminds someone of how important family is, and they end up, having a reunion and reconnecting with, something they lost. You have no idea how the very thing that you fear doing can end up changing someone else's life and even changing your own or those people around you. So don't let fear hold you back, or the fear of something new, or the fear of the road less traveled. Do not let that hold you back. You have this life. And whether or not you believe in reincarnation, personally I do, and I know that it exists. Even if you do have multiple lives after this, it will never be with these type of people, with this type of scenario, with, like all these pieces falling into place like this. It will never be like this. It's going to be so much different, and you could regret this amazing chance that you have in front of you. So don't let fear or anything else hold you back. So let's see what your charms come out. Off, at, and laugh. So laugh at, laugh off. I kind of feel like it's saying to be more, to basically not take life or things too seriously, right? Because when we make or think of something as too serious, then we start to fear it, right? This needs to be, whatever this discovery of your purpose is, this needs to be in that mind frame of that carefree, childlike self that you once were, right? Everyone, whether you had a horrible life or not, okay, there has to be at least one day in your childhood that was so carefree that for a moment you felt like the world was yours, like everything was a playground, right? That you enjoyed that moment, that, you know, whether it was the taste of a certain food you enjoyed as a kid, or playing with your friends, or being at a certain place, just that laughter, right? That carefree self. This is how you need to approach whatever this is. Not as an adult with a serious focus on life and thinking of a future and, you know, collecting as much money as you need to and this whole rat race. None of that. Because that will only drive you crazy and it could bring you to more illness, okay? This thing, what you need to do, needs to be from the heart. It needs to be from your child self. It needs to be carefree. It needs to be love and laughter and joy and everything that is innocent and precious. That's how you need to approach this thing. Okay? So, let us take one more question. And your question is, how interesting. What does my child self wish to tell me? So, let's go with these cards. What does my child self want to tell me? So what does your child self want to tell you? What does the child self want? Uncertainty. The shades of gray within the fog will eventually lift. So even though you are uncertain, even though you may be scared, sometimes the best things and the biggest blessings come out of things that might scare you sometimes. Okay? That, you know, for the dark forest that you might have once seen as a kid, maybe it wasn't dark at all. Maybe that shade made that forest so airy and so easy to breathe in. Maybe it, you know, provided so much shade from such a hot day, right? So sometimes the things that we aren't sure of and the things that we doubt or are scared of, maybe it's just our soul self telling us that there's something so exciting behind the veil or around the corner that, you know, it might scare you a little because you're not used to how amazing it is. But it can be so adventurous and exciting. Okay? So that's all I have for group 1 today. I really hope you enjoyed this reading. Please come back for more. Subscribe, like, comment. And if you have any suggestions for further readings, I'm all ears. Please comment below and tell me what you wish to know. So that is all I have today. I'll see you guys next time. Hello, group 2. So, let's see what it is that you need to know at this current moment. Oh, a lot of cards here. So you got entrapment and unleash your creativity. So it's possible that some of you may feel trapped. Maybe it could be, if you are a creative person, it could be that your own doubts and fears are making you feel trapped, because maybe you do have ideas and you are a creative person, right? But literally I'm going through the same thing currently, where it's like I want to, learn how to draw better. And I know that I have the potential to do so, because back when I was in high school, I used to draw all the time. And I know my skill level. I know that I could draw good. But because I haven't done it for so long, I have so much doubts and feel like I'm a failure at every attempt I try, right? So that's the type of maybe fear and doubts that's holding your mind locked within you and preventing you from unleashing that world of creativity and beauty and or music and helping others or whatever it is that's locked within you. Okay, so let's see what the ancestors card have to say. Okay, so you guys got focus on children. So this could be to focus on your child self. It's interesting because group 1 had the same, so I'm assuming that generally the world is going through something that needs to focus more on their childhood self and their child at heart persona that they once had, right? Because we've been going through life with such a serious matter, and so much hardships and craziness is going on around the world, that we need to remember who we once were, right? Because children don't like anger or violence or hate or, they like being carefree, they like happiness, they like to play and see the world in a brighter way, right? So that's something that's basically from the perspective you need to come out with this, right? Because a child is not going to stare at a blank page with a crayon in hand and think, I'm having an art block or I don't know what to draw. Like every child is going to just start drawing something, right? Doodling or drawing a big picture, maybe their family or a house or the sun, whatever it is. They're not going to stop and just think, right? They just express themselves so naturally, and that's something that you need to do. Maybe self-expression here is the problem. You're not expressing yourself the way you need to, or maybe even in a healthy manner. The second card you got is connect with water. Water is emotions, right? So maybe there is a pattern here. You're locked too much within your own mind that you're not expressing what it is that you actually need or want or want to do, maybe with your life or with your career, whatever it is. So let's see what else you got. Okay, so you got the Wand and Book of Shadows. So even though you may think that you know all there is to know about a certain thing, or maybe about your own emotions or about yourself, that is not true. There is more to learn. The Book of Shadows is never complete, right? The only time a Book of Shadows may be complete is when the person actually dies. Because there's always something new to know, to discover, to uncover, right? And the wand here, the wand represents creativity, right? Again, we have 2 creativity cards here. And if you count children, right, because every female technically is an artist, for she is the one who created this child, right? This child grows within her. So there's a lot of artistry, and art is connected to the heart. The heart is connected to the soul, right? The soul is connected with emotions. So all of this has to do with unleashing something that you have been holding deep within. Maybe you've been a closed book for too long, right? Maybe it's time to open this book, to unleash what it is you have deep inside of yourself that you're hiding or holding on to or bottling up. If it's trauma of any kind, this needs to be released. If you have trouble finding someone that you may talk with or don't have the means to pay for a psychologist, for some professional counseling or help, then try to find an artistic way to unleash this. This could be through writing a story, through writing poetry, music, painting, the darkness. And don't shy away or think that creating dark art of any medium is bad or evil or anything, okay? We create dark art in order to unleash and pour out what is being bottled in, okay? Sometimes, personally, when I create dark art, I have no idea what it means. I don't know the metaphors or the symbolisms that I choose. I just create whatever comes out. But it's only maybe months or even years later that when I look at my art, I then realize what my soul was trying to tell me. So you need to release whatever it is that is being locked within you, because you may have more blockages within your body because of this. Maybe you're unable to express yourself when talking, and you're struggling with words sometimes, or you want to cry but you may feel that others will think you're weak. So because of that, those tears are bottled in, which could cause illness to you later down the road, because you're holding back. There's this stagnant energy within you that needed to be released, but you're holding it down. A lot of people got cancer in different areas of their bodies because of this. So it is important, truly important, that you release every emotion in the moment that it happens, but in a healthy way, okay? So don't fight with others or argue or attack or, be violent of any way. But find healthy ways, okay? Remove yourself from the situation. Go for a run. Cry. Scream into a pillow or in a forest, or do whatever you need to do, but in a healthy way without hurting anyone or yourself, okay? But you need to connect with your emotions. You need to release them, and don't ever bottle them up. So, what is purple? Do we need to know about this situation? Okay, so the message that I'm getting here, some of you do need to write it out. Journaling is a good way. Also, if you do have dreams that feel significant, that aren't those mundane, random dreams, write them out as well, because they may be important and could hold the key to something that your subconscious wants to tell you, maybe like a solution. But writing is important here. You also have the Five of Cups, which is about letting go and grieving something, right? So it feels like all these cards sort of connect like a story, right? Writing something out makes you release and let go of it from your subconscious and your physical self, right? You're pouring it out of you, which then lifts you up, right? It lifts you up. Once you release that, you feel lighter, right? So you're being lifted up, and there's so much potentials and opportunities now open and gifted to you, because this thing isn't dragging you down anymore. Think of if you're in a hot air balloon, right? Imagine every emotion or this thing that you've been holding on to that's been gaining so much weight that it just keeps making you go down lower and lower, right? It could make you crash. But releasing these emotions, you're able to fly higher, right? You're able to see a bigger view of the landscape. And imagine if you were in a maze, right? You wouldn't know how to get out. But if you're in a hot air balloon looking down at a maze, you would see the exit, right? So releasing emotions is something that will make you feel lighter. It will make you feel more energized. It will make you feel like you want to, move on, let go, continue. There's more hope once you let go of these emotions that have been dragging you down. Okay? Now let's see what else spirits want to say. Oh, that's a lot of cards. Okay, that one really wants to come out. Joy. Spread seeds of joy like a wildflower, and no doubt you will revel in the result. So joy is the answer here, right? So if you need to, put on maybe, if you're into that romantic comedies or just a pure comedy, whatever it is, and find moments where you can just laugh. Okay? We need to stop making everything so serious. We need to stop taking ourselves too seriously. Okay, what is the point? If this was a game, you would just go around and just have fun, going through the levels, trying to get your, money or points, trying to make something of yourself. But at the end of the day, why do we need to create more, lines on our face and take ourselves so seriously? Laugh at yourself. Don't be afraid to laugh at yourself, okay? Now let us see what question. We're going to take out an extra question here. And your question is, what can I do to improve my financial situation? And let us see what the answer is. Origins. Remember your roots. So maybe your finances are connected to something that you once have done before. And I don't mean like one time. I mean like you have done something maybe as a kid, which is interesting because this relates to group 1. But maybe you've done something as a kid, something you enjoyed doing, that you let go of because you had to be a serious adult. But that thing that you basically were into before could be the very thing that if you do now could create a really good business for you, right? So imagine if you were, I don't know, if you were a kid that loved, skateboarding, right? Maybe you could do something regarding that. Maybe you could design skateboards. Maybe you could create like a web magazine about this topic, or interview people in that field of, and people maybe would want to read that. Or maybe you were a kid that enjoyed dancing, which, you stopped doing, but you have so much talent and skill in it that you could maybe open a dance studio or be a background dancer to, in a music video or something, right? So whatever this is, your origins is the answer. Something about your origins. Maybe even if it's your family business that you need to take up, or maybe it's something ancestral, something maybe your ancestors, if they did something in the past that maybe you could now continue doing, right? Maybe your ancestors I don't know, maybe your ancestors had like a farm, right? And maybe there's something regarding farming and maybe, I don't know, vegan living or vegetarianism, or I don't know, there's something in your roots or your origins that you need to look at, whether it's your own, your family's, your ancestors, something that could potentially give you more financial stability than whatever it is you're doing now. Okay? So group 2, that is all I have for you. If you enjoyed this reading and want to see more, please subscribe, like, comment. If you have suggestions, for the topics of other videos that I can do, make sure to comment down below and tell me. And I'll see you guys next time. Hello group 3 and welcome to your reading. So let us find out what it is you need to know currently. What is group 3? Hole in the soul. So it seems that you guys feel like you're missing something deep inside yourselves. Maybe you're longing for someone, maybe you just feel like there's a void that no matter what you do you can't fill. Like there's something missing and you don't know what it is. So let's see what this is. Let's check with the ancestors. What is group 3? Okay, so the reason you guys feel like there's something always missing is because you have basically disconnected from nature. Whether it's your own true nature or it's nature generally as the environment. But you need to reconnect with Mother Earth. So this may sound, new agey and stuff, but reconnecting and connecting generally with Mother Earth is something that needs to be the basics of our foundation, because we are part of her and she is part of us. We are one. You can find, things in space that connect with us, the way maybe our eye looks, or tree roots that look like our nerves, right? So everything in nature is us, and when we disconnect from it, when we are constantly in this system and working in this system and going through that rat race of money and more money and need a bigger promotion and all these things, what you're doing is disconnecting from your true self, because that is not you. You are a soul with a body, not a body with a soul. Okay, so you're a soul first. You are temporarily renting this body in order to exist on this physical 3D plane. So disconnecting from your soul is basically will only lead you down a harder path, a path where you aren't satisfied, a path full of illness, a path of regrets, a path of spirals, and it's not a happy road. So you need to reconnect with Earth, and the fact that you may feel a void within yourself is maybe because you aren't satisfied with yourself. You may think that a boyfriend or girlfriend will, make that void disappear and you'll feel complete. Maybe you feel like, oh, if only I had a better home, or only if when I move to this and this country, or have this and this purse, or that car, then I will feel complete. No, you won't. All you are doing is masking a sadness that can only be filled by loving yourself. Loving yourself is the answer. You will feel complete. You'll feel comfortable when you're alone and by yourself. You'll feel whole when you're alone and by yourself. You'll be able to read a book in perfect quiet and stillness. You'll be able to go for a walk and just observe and just truly feel happy and at peace with who you are, just by loving yourself and by reconnecting with the environment and the earth. Okay, so the Sun card. Things will be better. Things will improve. They may feel bleak right now, but there is potential for more. There's potential for healing. And maybe some of you do need more sunlight. Maybe you're constantly indoors or in darkness. So you got death in reverse. I don't read reversals, but sometimes I do. So this isn't an actual literal death, so don't be alarmed, but it feels like a part of you feels like it's dead, or maybe numb. It feels like there's this sureness about you, and this void comes from maybe a part of you that you don't like about yourself. Maybe there are regrets, maybe you're ashamed of something, whatever it is. It feels like there needs to be a period of healing and resting. As you got the Four of Wands, which is, because there's four, right? There is some sort of stability, but it requires rest. Some of you may feel that there's something missing because maybe you've been alone for too long, and there needs to be some sort of reunion with friends. Maybe your friends could pull you out of this numbness and show you and remind you again of, what joy and laughter feel like. Let's see what advice you get. Kindness. Take respite by a pond and be kind to yourself and others. Yes, I'm pretty sure you guys are kind to others, but I think it's important that you need to be kind to yourself, right? So negative talk, thinking you're stupid or a loser or things like that, that is not being kind to yourself. And all you're doing is sabotaging your own life and your potential opportunities because of this negative self-talk, or thinking you'll be alone forever or things like that. None of that is true. So by saying it, you're only manifesting it and making this void larger, and this keeps going for much longer. So you need to be kind to yourself and of course other people. Now we're going to pull out an extra question. And your question is, how is my past impacting my life currently? How is your past impacting your life currently? So you got humility. Flowers are unaware of each other's beauty. They bloom regardless. I kind of feel that there are some things within your life that are out of your hands, and you need to come in terms with that, because maybe there are things that you're trying to control, and things seem to not go your way, and this causes you more stress and more hopelessness. Do what you can with what you have, but anything you can't control, anything you can't change or compel or do or whatever it is, leave it. It's out of your hands. don't focus on it, just let it go. Because by holding on to it, you're basically preventing yourself from the opportunities that you may have in front of you right now, right? So you need to stop controlling the narrative. And I think this is what this death and this Emperor card is, right? The Emperor is like, he's in control, right? There's this solid being, this person that knows themselves, that are strong and everything. And you have the Death card here, which I feel is like, telling you that this control needs to die. You need to let go. You need to let loose. Be kind to yourself. Be the best version of yourself that you can be. Right? And if you know you can do better and are frustrated because you can't get to that level that you want to be at, take it one step at a time. Right? Maybe write it down, what kind of life or who you want to be, and then work backwards. Try to find solutions to that final goal. But remember that we're always changing. Nothing will ever stay the same. We're constantly in this cycle of improving and evolving. So even if you think of this huge goal, or that you have, or the person you want to be, what your life will be like, things can change on such a huge level so quickly that you end up at a place so much different than what you wanted for yourself, but it could be so much better than you even thought could happen, right? So try not to stress too much about this, but reconnect with nature. So you guys got Best Friends ring, Divine of and Dream. Dream of Divine. So this best friend ring could be this potential connection that you may have with friends. Maybe you haven't been around your friend for too long. Maybe you need to spend some time with them, or go out and just have fun. Or maybe if this is a hole in the soul because you lost a friend because of this Death card here, if that is the case, this card is interesting because you got the dream, right? So if this is you, you may be dreaming, and if this is someone you may have lost, it could represent that you guys have been spending time with each other in dreams, right? In the astral plane of existence, right? So once your soul leaves your body every night, you could be spending time with them in the other realm, and actually, hanging out and going on adventures and things like that. So they're still with you. They're still watching over you, right? So that is interesting. So that is all I have for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed the reading. If you have, please subscribe, like, comment. If you have further suggestions on what kind of videos you'd like for me to do, like the topics of readings, you could comment below and tell me. And I'll see you guys next time.